Alright, Panther fans, what the hell? How's everybody doing? The summer over yet? It ain't over yet here. It's a high of 94. We've been in the mid-90s all week. It's hot in this basement. You're used to me saying it's cold in this basement, but it's hot in this basement. So, why the hell am I standing here anyway? Well, I figured, what the hell? I got the wall ready. I had to do the first football video of the day, year, whatever the hell it is. And I figured, I was going to start the hockey videos next week. I'm already here. I'm already here and halfway dressed, so I may as well, let's get this party started. Hockey season starts today. I know it's technically football. It looks different. It's a weird thing. NFL has just become like a lead up. Like a lead up to hockey. It's like when football starts, it's like, okay, good. That means hockey's less than a month away. And we're less than 2 weeks away from camp. What do you think about that? Now, I've been talking a lot about this on the podcast. I've had people ask me when I'm going to start making videos again. I'm like, I've been making one every day almost. We have the members-only podcast. If you remember, Patreon supporter. So that's where most of the content has been over the course of the summer. I've been putting out some clips here or there. But people who have been listening to the podcast, they're caught up to speed. So let me catch you up to speed. Now, one of the things that I said at the very tail end of, it was right after we lost to the team that shall not be mentioned in the final game there. One of the things I said with all the injuries and everything is I said, what do you think? Yeah, maybe we don't make the playoffs this year. Maybe on purpose, not on purpose, purposely by accident. The point I'm making is they're beat to shit, right? They're beat up. I mean, they paid an insane price, as we've seen. Apparently, Sam Bennett's in a walking boot. Coach says he's fine, but he's in a walking boot. I need to know what Paul Maurice's definition of fine is. But my thought was, this was back then, it's hard to have multiple long runs in a row. Don't get me started on Tampa, how they had 2 short seasons. It's hard to have two multiple. This is why I'm doing the video now, because I need to learn to speak again. It's hard to have multiple long runs in a row. So my thought was, we're beat to shit, right? I mean, everybody's got one arm, one leg, no rib cage, okay? Nobody's going to get a full. So how about we just come out next year, we just have fun. If we miss the playoffs, that's fine. Everybody go rest over the summer, get a massage, get a full season of camp, training in, and then come back into 24-25 season and be ready to go. And that's what I was thinking. And then over the course of the summer, of course, start to see guys getting healthy. Okay, all right, Ekblad and Montour. We're looking at the Ekblad and Montour sometime between November and the All-Star break. That's a big window. So just when I'm not even going to pay attention to what the hell Maurice says, because he's full of it, okay? In a good way, all right? He's not going to tell us. He's just not going to tell us. He's going to say he's close. I hope to have him back, blah, blah, blah. When they're on the ice, then they're on the ice. But the guy I want to talk about is Matthew Tkachuk. Now, Maurice gave an interview a couple days ago. I forget what it was. I talked about it on the podcast. And Tkachuk was this. No, this wasn't actually in the Maurice interview. This was in the, well, it's both. It's both. All right. The point is that Tkachuk says he's, in quotes, close to 100%. And my question is, 100% so that your shoulder don't hurt, 100% that you can start working out and getting stronger for the season, or 100% that you can take and give a hit and your arm isn't going to break and your ribs aren't going to. Which 100%? And the fact that he says I'm close to 100% means we're less than 2 weeks from camp and he's not 100%. And it's not like it was a sprained ankle or he had toe surgery. It's a broken sternum. So what does less than 100% mean? And how close to 100%? Because as we learned with the Panthers and their definitions, it's a little screwy. He's day-to-day, and then I think he'll be back Monday, and I think he'll be back Wednesday, and maybe Friday, and then when he's not on the ice Friday, Maurice will be like, yeah, it's going to be a couple weeks. It's like, wait a minute. How was he almost ready on Monday, and now a week later it's going to be 2 weeks, right? So I don't trust what any of these guys said. No, I trust Tkachuk as being honest, but define less than 100%, right? and if the team would let me near the players at all, after starting my 8th season of doing these videos, by the way, if they would let me talk to the players, you guys might know the answers to some of those burning questions. But I suppose because I play with puppets and cars, I can't talk to the players. Different story. It's going to be a salty year, okay? I'm not even going to lie to you guys right now. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not over what happened last season. I'm still I'm not going to cry, though. Don't start that shit with me. But I'm pissed. But I don't even know who I'm pissed at. I'm just angry. I'm upset. I'm irritable. I'm salty. You know what I'm saying? It's 94 degrees in here, and I still can't believe that, what's today's date? The 7th? A year ago in 17 days, I stood right here and told you, Panthers are going to win the cup. I don't know what to tell you. I had a cocky-ass attitude about it, too. It was like, hey, that's just what I feel. We're going to win the cup, right? And then those sons of bitches got all that way on one arm and one leg, and that's the point. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Now, I mean, look, it is September 7th. Our first preseason game is in 18 days. No Montour, no Ekblad. Tkachuk is close to 100%. I gotta know, there was no follow-up. There was no follow-up. Damn it, some of these people are not good at their job. Close to 100%, right? Okay? And Maurice says Bennett, he saw him in a walking boot. Ah, he's fine. Wait a minute. Now, I know, look, I'm an old man. If I put on a walking boot, I'm hurt. Why is Sam Bennett in a walking boot? Why have we heard nothing about that? I mean, even if it's just a sprained ankle. I mean, is a high ankle sprain? What are we dealing with? So the point is, let me know. I mean, nobody wants the Panthers to win more than I. But the more that I hear about some of these injuries and how long it's going to take, and I can't help but shake the feeling that, well, let's put it this way, I'm not predicting we're going to win the cup this year. It might be a while before I predict anybody's going to win anything, to be honest with you. But as irritable and angry and salty and all of that as I am, the other half to that is I don't think I'm going to take any of this seriously this year. Because the odds that this team, this group of still half-broken guys is going to repeat what they did last year is minuscule at best. Now, I haven't done any of my previews yet, so I'm not going to give all of that away yet. It's obvious I'm not picking us to win the cup. I have another team in the East that I have my eyes on that way. But I guess the point of it is that, you know, last year was such an emotional investment for the players and everybody, but for myself as well, in terms of the first year that I streamed every game, and we streamed all the playoff games, and I'm sitting there just telling everybody that, well, listen, we're going to win the cup. We're going to win the cup. So I don't have it in me to go through that again this year. I think that's what I'm saying. So what I wonder is if I'm that mentally exhausted and I'm just the guy making videos in his basement, what's it like for the players to come back from that mentally and emotionally? Now, Tkachuk on this podcast said all the right things. They were better than us. We've got a lot of work to do, etc., etc. But that almost 100%, that bothers me. I'm really bothered by that because that means we're less than 2 weeks from camp and he's still feeling something wrong. And that's what less than 100% is. You can't, when you're 100%, you're 100%. If you're 90%, you're like, yeah, it's just about better. That means he's still feeling it. It was a broken sternum. So if he's still feeling a broken sternum, can he take a hit? Can he give a hit? And this circles back to something that I said in the podcast in the middle of the summer, which was I wouldn't be against, and now I'm even more adamant about this point, even though I know you're all going to disagree with me. You're all going to disagree with what I'm about to say. I understand your arguments, and you're not wrong. That said, I think the odds of us winning the cup this year are minuscule. I think if Tkachuk is less than 100%, he should just sit for another month to 6 weeks while he genuinely gets healed and ready and is strong enough to play a full season and let the chips fall where they may come the standings. Because with all of these injuries and everything, I don't know. I don't feel like this team, there's too much in the East this year. There's too much in the East this year to think that these guys are going to do what they did last year again. And I'm not just talking about the playoff run. I'm talking about the coming from behind, being out of the playoff race. Now, they could shock us. They could shock us. Okay? Forsling could turn into Montour. Larson could be as adequate as Ekblad. God help us the rest of the way. But they could surprise us. Barkov could turn into a scoring machine. All right? One guy I want to talk about is Denisenko. Now, why do I want to talk about Denisenko? Because of frickin' Owen Tippett. Damn it, now I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. Because what did I keep saying? All those years, people saying, why do you like Tippett? Why do you like Tippett? And I kept saying, we are going to need, by the way, this is for all you people that tell me not to look 2-3 years in advance, too. I kept saying, we're going to need good, young talent on cheaper deals that can score and produce. And so what did we do? We threw Owen Tippett away for 5 minutes of Claude Giroux, and now Owen Tippett's what he is in Philadelphia, and now we have to hope against the likelihood that Denisenko is going to turn into Owen Tippett, because there's really not a lot else. I know people like Samskovich. Every year you guys come at me with some guy's new name that I don't know about, that, hey, he's the guy, and they never make it. Now, I'm not saying that's your fault, but somewhere along the way, there's a disconnect between the Panthers drafting players that are supposed to be something and them actually developing into something. And the last guy that took the long road to becoming something good was Owen Tippett. So, Denisenko is going to be important. All right? There's no way around it. If we are going to have success, when you look at the roster, we have... Look, we need Denisenko to be a legit top 9 player. Now, could that happen? It could. He didn't look terrible. He didn't look out of place. You just can't put the puck in the net. That's a problem. Okay? We don't know what's going to happen with him. Is Cousins going to be back in the second line, or is he competing for the fourth line? Because, you know, Rodriguez is only going to make up for so much ground. Okay? Rodriguez is now, it's better to start the season with Rodriguez than it was to start the year last year without Duclair, okay? But one guy that we're going to need to take a good hard look at is Denisenko. Now, why is that? Well, it's not just because his success is important, but if he does not have success behind him, it's not good. There's nobody behind him. We don't even have like an Eric Stahl to pull off the bench to be like, there's a veteran with experience that we... So, Denisenko's in his spot. He's going to get an opportunity this year. I don't see any way he doesn't make this team. He's going to get an opportunity. That said, if we get 3/4 of the way through the season and he's not cutting it, and we're out of the playoffs, don't be surprised to see him take a walk on a short pier to go someplace else. All right, I know that was a lot to throw at you. I still got to do the podcast. This kind of gives you a little bit of an idea what the podcast is like, except for I'm sitting upstairs in the air conditioning. I'm dripping. I'm dripping. We had a nice week last week. Normally this time of the year, I'm tweeting about it. 75, then it's 55, then it's 78, then it's 60. It's been 94 to 95 to 96, and even hit 97 every day this week. Tomorrow's the cool day. We're only going to be 91, and then it's going to rain all weekend. So it is just disgusting in this basement. So I'm going to upload these videos and go upstairs and put some needles in my mouth so I can talk. For those of you who don't know, I've got a really, really, really bad TMJ flare-up. And you know where it started? This is be the last thing I say. This is only for the hardcore people. I first thought it was a tooth. But long story, if y'all remember the end of the season during the live streams, well, you know, I always lift, right? Well, I think it was one of the Boston winning games in the middle of lifting, and this happened a lot during the season. Middle of lifting, we scored, and I went, and I tore all sorts of stuff. Well, it hasn't really healed all that much because I don't get to the gym as often as I should. But what's happened is from holding everything here and all of this and all of that, all screwy, now all my muscles here have literally shortened and are pulling. They're pulling on this jaw and the teeth, and I've got a huge TMJ flare-up. And yet, here I am. Here I am. So Tkachuk and I are the same, man. I'm close to 100%. I'm close to 100%, but I still feel that son of a bitch. I wish there would have been a follow-up question. Come on, Panthers. Let me talk to the players. I'll be nice. I promise. I'll even be nice to Ekblad. Come on. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, hit the subscribe. If there's like 2 people left watching, hit the subscribe button. I lost 30 subscribers this summer. This sucks. See you later.